Plaintiff, Corey Hoback, started dating the defendant in middle school, and they have 2 children together. Corey claims one night she and the defendant were both drunk, and she was driving them in her car. Corey says she jumped out of the car because they were fighting, and the defendant took off and crashed her car, so she's suing. Defendant Timothy Wolf says on the night of the incident, he and Corey had been at the strip club, and she was getting jealous of the dancers. Timothy claims Corey caused such a scene that they got kicked out of the club, and he says had that not happened, the accident would not have happened either.
Prove your case.
We've been dating since middle school, where we were. After high school, we got pregnant with our first child. 2009, we had our second child. We moved to another city. The first week there, he went out one night. The next morning, I had this feeling inside of me that something was wrong. He told me he didn't want to be tied down no more. That was his exact words. So how are you going to move me from a city, 3 hours away from my hometown, with my 2 children, and then say you don't want to be tied down?
Did you ask him? You asked him that?
Yeah.
And what did he say?
He didn't have an answer for me.
So what happened?
From there, we broke up for 3 months, and he was dating some other girl that I found out through MySpace he was dating. They were dating for 3 months. I moved back home. Like a fool, I took him back after that 3 months. Started dating again, and there was a lot of drinking, a lot of being irresponsible.
By him?
Both of us. I'm not gonna lie, both of us.
And you all been together ever since, or what happened?
No, we've been broken since the accident. We've been broken up. That's what.
And when was that?
May 2010.
All right, we'll get to that shortly. Sir, you want to give me some background?
Yeah, we dated for 13 years, like she said, and we had a lot of good times. We had a lot more bad times. There's a lot of, we were young.
Like what?
Like drinking wise, a lot of intoxication influenced a lot of our problems. That and financially. We were young, we had kids together.
Did you move her out of town and tell her?
Yeah, I moved her out of town. I had a job offer and I took the job.
But then afterwards, did you tell her you're on your own? I know I moved you out of town,
but I made a mistake. I did a lot wrong in life. I made some mistakes, made some some bad choices.
You all broke up, got back together 3 months later.
Yeah, I called her and I called her back, and I wanted her back. That was my thing. I wanted her to come back in my life. I wanted to see my kids again. That was a lot what it was to do with is the kids, more than me and her getting back together. I was selfish, I wanted to see my kids.
Is this accident what caused the breakup, the most recent breakup?
Not exactly. It was a lot to do with it, but we had a lot of.
It was a nail in the coffin.
She didn't
nail in the coffin.
Yeah, she didn't trust me a lot. I was after we got back together. I was unfaithful once, so of course, she never gained that trust back to me. And
all right, tell me about the accident that you're suing for.
We were out all night drinking. It was the wee hours in the morning, and we both got in the car. I was driving. I felt like I could drive home instead of him driving because we were both intoxicated. We started arguing in the car, and then I got to a point where I couldn't even drive anymore, so I pulled the car over and told him to get out of the vehicle. He wouldn't get out of the vehicle.
How were you telling him to get out?
The arguing. I just couldn't sit in the same vehicle with him.
Oh, okay. I thought it had something to do with your... So it had nothing to do with your intoxication and the risk of killing someone. It just had to do with the argument. Gotcha. Go ahead, ma'am.
So I pulled the car over. He wouldn't get out. I got out of the vehicle. He jumped in the driver's seat, went around the corner, and all I hear is crash. I go walking down the corner, and he's out of the car saying, "Corey, Corey," like he wanted me to sit in the driver's seat and take the blame for it. And I said, no. Next thing you know, the cops are there, and he got arrested for DUI suspended license.
And you believe he owes you because he caused the accident?
Caused the accident.
Do you think had you not gotten to the car and driven drunk, knowing that he was drunk as well, do you think any of this would have happened?
I wouldn't have crashed the car.
Sir, what do you say to this?
My side of the story that night is a little different than that. I admit we were both drinking. We were sitting there with a couple of my buddies. She wanted to go, we went to the strip club. You know, it wasn't a good idea at the time, but it sounded like one. She wanted to go more than I did. So we go to the strip club, and that's where the fighting began. We had a couple more drinks at the club.
Fighting over the women?
Yeah. We were fighting over the women. She got a little jealous. I got a $100 bill, and I went to the bartender, and I said, here, I want 100 ones. And she slapped it out of my hand.
You didn't give her any ones?
I was trying to, but I ended up giving half of them to the bartender.
He didn't give you any?
No.
Okay. So.
I was trying to, but she had slapped the $100 bill or 100 ones out of my hand behind the bar.
Just so the viewers know, y'all know I try to keep in touch with modern day culture. It's my understanding that strip clubs have pretty much replaced regular clubs. More people go to strip clubs than they do regular nightclubs.
Yeah, they're open later.
Yeah, and secondly, women frequent them just as much as men, pretty much. So my question, I haven't been able to figure this out, is when the women go, are they there to view the women naked for the same purpose as men?
I went because his buddy's girlfriend was going too, so I figured I might as well be a cool girlfriend and go too.
So what do you all do when you get there?
Sat there and had a few drinks and watched.
You look at the women?
Yeah,
Do you get sexually excited?
No, not as much as the men.
Not as much as the men. I ain't getting somewhere. Got it. Very good. I don't know if you speak for all women who go, but you certainly said that when you go, you don't get as sexually excited as the men. Why don't you think you should have to pay for the accident?
Because it's the circumstances, the night, what had happened and everything, and she put me in that position to get behind the vehicle by getting out of it. I shouldn't have been driving. I know I made a mistake. We both shouldn't have been driving. But if she wouldn't have got us kicked out of the strip club, we probably wouldn't have been driving. We had somebody to drive us, but she got us kicked out a little early. We ended up
had someone to drive.
Yeah, we had someone to drive.
Is that true?
Yeah.
Why couldn't you wait on this person in the parking lot while you would perhaps sleep your drunk off?
We were intoxicated.
Okay, all right. And you have anything showing the value of $2,000?
Yes, I have the receipt for when I purchased the car.
Okay.
And the incident report.
Okay. I'm going to conclude that you contributed to this negligence. You were knowingly intoxicated, got under the wheel intoxicated, knowing he was intoxicated as well, and had you not, in my opinion, driven intoxicated, whereby you also risk the lives of others, even if you didn't care about yourself, you risk the lives of other people on the road. But had you not driven drunk, the both of you, I do not believe it would have happened. Therefore, you contributed to it happening. And since you contributed to it happening, you should contribute to the damage. So I'm going to grant you a $1,000 judgment as opposed to the $2,000, meaning that you are responsible for half of what happened. Have a good day. Judgment for the plaintiff, $1,000.
We got no hard feelings. We got kids together. We
have to deal with each other for the next 18 years.
We need to split our differences aside and try to make it good for the kids.